I write all this poetry because we're all going to die. This is definite. Opened myself up and failed. They do not act on their inner life. A slave. I've been exiled. I've been lost and I have found. I had dared to go out and find my true love. It is a figure in the mist, glazing and glory. I have shaped my life around such things. Fool not. I cannot pretend that love does not exist. Is a life upholding without a soulmate worth living? Burn my house with fire, blade on blade, breast over chest, taken there. For all I have, Neo. Crafting with care, acted with wilderness, wildness, stumbling upon a personal revelation, an awakening, changed after illumination, formed lover's dust, sprinkled in poetry. I'm a clarity over mundane, opening my inner world, poetic language gems, lured to be myself. Dim my lights now. Never. I left the normal and designed my present to parent my future. Reputation is fully depending on others. Lovers want to know our character, loving now, like if forever exists, pledging to one another for eternity, where they stay awake, watching you sleep, whisper to themselves about what you're dreaming about. Just want to marry you on repeat, knowing the difference between saying goodbye and letting go. It's a twist of fate, parting from the past. So I turned to poetry for life instead and felt no regret since. And there is nothing as beautiful than the life I missed out on. As the life I experienced could make me smile, because no other life could do. Perhaps poetry itself invented love. If it didn't, poetry took advantage of love, only to get noticed. Now at least I've got something to do. Just writing poems about the love I yearn, have not yet experienced. Troublesome. Eclipsing sunlight, shining in beams, small rays roaring for attention, filling the skies at the evening, spreading stars, spreading beauty. With eyes to know immortality. So exceedingly so, surprised to see the illumination of beauty shine only for me. Though I saw it often, it was like discovering myself for the first time outside poetics. Have no used jealousy, just pure love to give. Questioning everything outside. At rare times, coming across fate, a moment, a person, a thought or feeling that will defy your values, upset your plans, a bit different from others. No one can outwit fate. Life given freely. Those who to stay to the side will never step out to what fate lays down. In front, love. Poets know better. As philosophers smile, artists praise them, and muses can relax. Learning what matters in one's soul, memories will lighten up as the pain will be forgotten. For some, having no need to use diamonds to sparkle, no guru for illumination, and for the last time, it's love to be felt. At least, it's forever this time. For love between hands, juicing ether, speaking in poetry, and the same rhythm of violins making love with cellos. Between thigh and thee, conscious dreaming, faint cries, explicit images, inspiring, assuming the illumination, and every motion undirected, sparking in timeless fashions, replacing the mundane and daily moments, agonish if the efforts are done with effort, sharp art, cluttering inside, producing doubt. I notice the bleakness of life throughout times like this. Indigo excitement, coming in random, at times it's planned. Patterns in uniform, swifting movements, innocence in essence, love, life, forming figures, wanting perspective, gaining footing and soul, alarmed ears that hears every sound, tremors to vibrations, streaming along the air, more eloquently than words and music, jaw-dropping icons, confident moulded from heaven, not in marble or smooth stone, not even out of sand. Gushing concertos, new culture, a thief in the world, stealing attention from its natural wonders. Sentiment, neo-romance, reliving tortured souls, providing meaning. Leaves fall to cover the earth. Birds chirp. The wind blows. The waves crash. Expressing something unseen to the naked eyes, like the sound of symphonies. Meaningful has never had the time it needs to live. Flute ballads, miss, blooming within, filling one's soul with beauty and need to express actions to compensate for what the internal can't hold together. Like glue on paint. When you live forever, what do you live for? Poetry, the food of love. As all the poets not knowing one another, smiling alone, smiling with meaning, smile with another, sharing love. I always think the meaning of anything didn't want to be found and has cursed us with confliction inside and the lost causes of creating one's own meaning. Once upon a time, distinguished melancholy from sadness. I'd like to breathe. I'd like to live in quality. Does obsession matter? If it's on loving the other, romantic grandeur to make any poet cry, expanding our soul, turning away from the mundane and the lame and the middle-class standards, everything. Is it all right to be obsessed on being better? Sometimes I had a lover, birthing new love, never taught how. Sometimes life loves me too. To create my own life's meaning isn't easy. For most others, they do not permit. At least I won't die with whimpers, because most translate their small parts of themselves, their littlenessness, their lifeless dreams, yearnings, into something else of lost translations, and sometimes they inflict it onto another. The significance of anyone's life determined and made from not only their wisdom and the quality of it, but their courage to act on, despite knowing any hardships that come from. For what is passion? Where I've heard people speak in such rare and passion when they speak of what they want from me. Maybe I spoiled them with too much of a good thing. And can the honours of Joan of Arc be counted to forgive others? I should know how to forgive myself. Can one make up for loss of time to serve a meaning? Is in forgetting lifestyle, parting from society to be considered great, if it's when others can benefit. But Today's society is characterized by achievement orientation, and consequently it adores people who are successful and happy, and in particular it adores the young. It virtually ignores the value of all those who are otherwise, and in so doing blurs the decisive difference between being valuable in the sense of dignity and being valuable in the sense of usefulness. To the world's history in all its eternity, can it compare to an individual soul? For I've noticed how easy the heart forgets about its worth. Let the duration of my life be a flare of ecstasy and continued awakening. I expect myself to be better than yesterday, better than tomorrow. Everyone seeks meaning and answers in distant places, in dogma, textbooks and so on. I'd rather not each die and a loss of myself before I truly lose myself at the time of death. A vague impression, a silk touch, honey aroma, lust for art, love towards meaning. My eyes continued. At first saw nothing but torture, universal, yet still slightly timid. Delicate thoughts rendered to emotion sudden, bang, stupid down to nectar, soothing one's whole being, vivid awareness. For when I last saw the earth and parted away, I had gained the universe, and with it, any cosmic beauty. It's a harsh price to pay for total enlightenment. It's always alone. Always to be viewed with madness. Parallel taunts. Mocking time wants to slow you down. You'll realize the duality of others as the friendships drop. For what you had worked for loses value and unable to transition to the other side. Oh, what a waste of passionless moments of life. When I avoided my own soul, when I shattered any self-produced illusions that would follow suit and saw everything for what is, I'll be serious and watching you. Salvation is the reward. Enlightenment is its key. Illumination to everything I touch. Addictive in its fulfilling forms. Infinite. And destiny relaxes. Shrugging its shoulders and sighing out any tiredness. Fabulous and glamorous. Immortalized in pictures. I'm a fibre, in existence, totally of its own existence. Divine ecstasy flaring over musings. Experienced something other than humanity's beating heart. Now I dine with angels themselves. and hold luncheons with muses, debating humanity. Sentimental over few things. And this all started by taking full responsibility. Kissed under sun-blooming sky, allure of moonlight. Loses its patience to be seen. The sad thing about life, it's not being alone. Like any artist producing any work in isolation, peaches over wild strawberries. The remaining daylight pulls into the horizon until the moon is dominant. But it's making an effort towards those you know. And still feels so alone. There's nothing besides my tragic thoughts, sleeping alone in a raw state, that seems overwhelmingly addictive and opened myself to the world. Where you moan, you drop the tears alone. Where both the violin and the cello music is invented for moments like this, and any piano key touched by any finger is the fingering of my essence. Here where I moan and the stars will be out, twinkling. It's what they do best. I'll never know what the future lays, and I think of nothing but love. My best poetry is the poems I shall never write. And I find myself in a time of despair. Passages of time lost without my own passion. Across the terrain without a damn scent. Better or worst, thick or thin, just want to do the same as my muse has done for me. I'm leaving an orphan on a train. Home I'll never be, with no lover to love. Don't you worry about me. I'm about to die. The thing about coming to an end of a story, any story, that would be it of it, and it's heartbreaking. Some heavenly or some hellish great consciousness standing in eternity, one great mind, posed and potent, spontaneous awareness and poetry to anyone who isn't deaf. Maybe the belief of love is everything of hallucination, keeping us tied in cages. Still nobody knows what a poet does. But they end up loving all of life. It's a scene that's laid over eternal flaw, especially the hardships they endure, crystallized out the beauty of it all. Shouldn't have separation between you and I. Shine on life and think of me, looking for an angry glare, meditating on sensations.